Greetings once again, beloved multiversal soul familia. We are in this session for the 7-7 portal going to do a 7-card horseshoe for this session. So we have like a little bit more of a short form session as well as the long form. And here's the gig though. There's connections between the two because the most likely outcome from the long form video, our 7-day outlook for Miracle Manifestation Mission Focus Monday, which is currently compressing right now. It's a little over an hour long, and there's a lot going on there as well that may be connected to this session and message in some kind of way. We had the crow and the dogwood and intelligence, as well as the goat and willow overcoming obstacles coming out as the most likely outcome this week. In this session, it's going to be more particularly based around today. Since we already have a little bit of a look at the most likely outcome, it did say in the last session that there was going to be a lot to come this week that would be more expected than unexpected. So there's that much. Expecting a sneak peek into the most likely outcome, which is typically the outcome. So intelligence and overcoming obstacles, all right, which would be the 7th position in the 7-card horseshoe. We do have a little bit of free form ability with position number 7, because we can either read one card on its own or with other accompanying cards to help understand the message as a whole. And since this is part of the 7-day outlook outcome, it only makes sense to incorporate it into today's condensed message, also for the 7-7 portal. So, yes, in short form, first going into what led to the issue, that one issue that stands out to you the most for today, in the now, in this moment, for today. What led to this issue of overcoming obstacles and intelligence, and so much more. All right, so let's go ahead and go into the deck. And the little skull is there representing transformation and not anything spooky necessarily. All right. Because a lot of transformation messages, transformative energy came out in that video as well. So we're going to just go right back into the Woodland Wardens, and we're going to do a horseshoe with this deck. All right, here we go. Position 1. What led to this issue? Which is clearly not a terrible issue to be having, with intelligence coming in number 16, it looks like. You are at your most productive. Take care to ensure your labor fulfills you. When am I at my most productive? And am I feeling fulfilled in my work? And if no, how do I change that? Oh, that's the wrong one. What the actual... Hold on. Oh my goodness. Someone was meant to hear that message. Nevertheless, But the message from the crow and the dogwood is intelligence. What am I knowledgeable about? What are my creative or professional goals and how can I accomplish them? It's saying you are capable of solving any problem, overcoming any obstacles, overcoming obstacles. You can troubleshoot and overcome any obstacle. Like the crow, the dogwood has a somewhat confused public image. Its beautiful light-colored petals convey gentleness and whimsy. Few know that its hard bark and strong frame make it an uncommonly durable tree, able to withstand even the harshest weather. Beautiful. Able to withstand even the harshest weather. Giving it a good shuffle one more time. Which to me is like 3. What led to this most likely outcome for the collective? Just for today, what is leading and has led to the development of this most likely outcome? Oh, one card. For position 1, it would be the one that stuck out the most. We have the rooster and the sunflower. Communication. Communication also came out in the long form 7-day outlook. So that energy is already today. It's like, it's the Monday thing. It's a today thing. It's a now thing. Whenever you hear this, it's a now thing. All right. Communication. 45, 6, 7, 47. You are well suited to positions of authority. Remember that clear and open communication is key to successful leadership. What styles of communication do I admire in others, and how can I improve my own? This is the card of a good leader and the kind king. Roosters wake before the rest of the farm. Yes, we do. Gatekeepers, what's up? Gatekeepers, drop some lightning bolts in the chat or the comment section when you get this far into the message. Yes. Good communicators, honest and capable, protective of their territory and self-confident. And the sunflower is often the tallest bloom in the garden. And I must say, even though I might see another flower that I really super love, because I just love flowers, and so what about that? Doesn't make me that soft. It doesn't make me too soft. But yes, I love flowers, and sunflowers, the spirit of the sunflower definitely has a special place in my heart. Rising high and turning its face towards the sun, it may hover over other flowers. It bestows warmth and joy on any garden. I mentioned in the last video about possibly deciding to do something a little special for Sundays involving the energy, spiritual multiple different spiritual meanings around the sun, other elements, modalities related to that. The sunflower would be yet another good example. But also the joy. I mentioned the joy, the celebration, communicating in celebration, I just heard sometime today about something. Being well suited for something. That's what's up. And bestowing warmth and joy on any garden. Believe me, collective, our presence is felt before we even enter the room. Oh, look. Right behind that is the leadership card. The bear and cedar. Hold up. When this card comes out, we light some cedar. So first, we're going to get this Palo Stoken. I actually kind of still want it to be lit a little bit when I place it down so I can place the cedar over it. There it goes. Yes. Oh. All right. I know we're not really supposed to technically do two cards in the same position except for position 7, but we're doing it anyway. Doubling up on things this rising has been extremely significant as well. So let's take a look at the bear and cedar. Who can benefit from my knowledge and experience? The spirit of the bear is guiding you to leadership opportunities and reminding you to rule with fairness and care. That message also came out with the mature woman out of the Kipper in the long form message. Regardless of how you identify, the mature woman represents that, well, obviously maturity, grace, dependability, and care, nurturing, just the embodiment of just so many different archetypes and aspects. Yeah, that mature woman energy. But now it's showing up a little bit more neutral here. Showing up a bit more neutral. So, demonstrating by way of communication your ability to be not just any candidate, but the most ideal candidate for applying your knowledge and intellect to overcome obstacles. Yes. All right. Now, let's get more into the actual current situation here. What a little bit more on what this actually pertains to. We have a card sticking out, and since we're only doing one card per position typically, unless by accident or some other means we're led to do otherwise, we have the raccoon and the sycamore with curiosity and yet another master number. Lots of master numbers came out in the long form video that's currently compressing, and it will be posted today as our regularly scheduled, sometimes late, but still regularly scheduled on Mondays, exclusive to Mondays, Miracle Manifestation and Mission Focus Monday messages, 7-day outlook. Yes, that's a lot. Curiosity. Curiosity. Our curiosity is the situation. Whatever it is the collective has been becoming more curious about is extremely relevant. Only you are going to know what that means to you. Now may be a good time to reduce the volume on your listening device, because we do have a master number on the table. And when we have a master number on the table, we ring the bell to ring in the blessings. Absolutely. Threes are also extremely relevant in today's messages all the way around, both videos. You'll see, and I hope that you join me for the premiere if you end up seeing this video first, because that premiere will be occurring sometime today. All right, yes. 1, 2, 3. Healthy curiosities, troubleshooting and problem solving abilities, overcoming any obstacle, being able to ride out any storm, any obstacle. And without losing, I'm hearing like that curious wonder about what more there is to explore within ourselves, but also like externally, like out in nature, although none of that is separate. Like the squirrel is not separate from the sycamore, the bear is not separate from the cedar, and so on. And look how matchy-matchy these two cards are. Like, yet another adorable synchronicity we have going on here. And they both look like they have masks on. Yes. I'm hearing like the good kind of masks that we wear, though. Like when we use our inside voices, because we just know that there is more value in that inside voice most of the time. Give it 80-20. Give it 80-20. The law of 80-20. Yes, which can be optimized in all aspects of our lives. Life, time management, business success, decision making, and even by knowing ourselves that much more and continuing that curiosity, that drive to learn more and more and more. As we change, there's more to learn. I just heard, as we continue to change, there's always more to learn. Keep that curiosity flowing. And it further solidifies and strengthens, because bears also represent strength and leadership. Number 33. You are well equipped to explore uncharted territories, climb high into the tree of your interests, bounding from branch to branch. Now is an auspicious time to discover new truths about yourself and your abilities. What new hobbies or interests do I want to explore? But as just mentioned, this is all interests that will contribute to building even more fortitude towards that leadership, but also being more expansive upon expansive in terms of those curiosities as well. New interests, ideas, and opportunities. Although they look like bandits, these raccoons rarely seek to cause harm. The sycamore tree is associated with a desire to learn and know. Beautiful, well-equipped, collective. An auspicious time to discover new truths about ourselves and our abilities. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. That is what is up. That, remember, this is our current situation. This is our focus for today. But can also be carried over into the remaining 7 days of the outlook whenever you see it. But if you're around for the premiere, you're more than welcome to join. Now, let's take a look at the emotional state of the collective in the now, in the 7/7 portal now, like in the now. Wow, it is 12:12 Eastern Daylight Time on the clock on 7/7. Wow, 12:12 p.m. July 7th, 7th month, 7th day of 2025. Beautiful. Okay. Since this emotional state is following the current situation, and I just made 2 full passes, I'm feeling guided to take a look at the bottom. 4. The emotional state. The emotional state we have is strength. Strength. That curiosity, fortifying that leadership, but also invoking energy through our emotions that mirror back that image of strength. And we have the number 8 out on the table again. There was at least 2 times in the last video that the number 8 came out as well. So many synchronicities today, let me tell you. And there was even more synchronicities in 2 different lives that I attended this morning. It's nutso, but in the best kind of way. It's like your favorite tropical trail mix, but homemade. Homemade, not that store-bought. I mean, that stuff's good too, but it's just not the best of the best. And here on the table, we are demonstrating clearly that we are the best at whatever it is that we do. Even when we're non-productive, with that bee in reverse in our immediate orbit. We're not gonna pull that card out, but this is just also clarifying a message from the last video about taking more pauses, taking more breaks, especially when dealing with family strife and tension, duplicity, things turning out to not be as they appeared. Becoming non-productive, even just for, a temporary, very short period of time, is perfectly natural. The bee, on the other hand, can't stop moving. It basically can't stop moving. Or, like the hummingbird, bad things could happen. But the bad things are not going to come our way if we take more of these intermittent pauses. We are protected. We are strong. We are that 3 different, oh, that's funny. 3 different representations of leadership on the table in their own right. The gatekeeper, that masculine energy that deserves reverence even when it's non-productive. And then all the leadership qualities necessary to weather no matter the weather. Yes, even in stillness, when we are not being productive. So the emotional state is the elk and ash. Number 8. How does inner strength differ from outer strength, and what situations call for each? So we have both on the table. So we have the inner strength and the outer strength. The inner strength and the outer strength on the table. It just makes even more sense as we go along. We are called to gather our strength ahead of challenges, facing them with confidence in our own stamina. Tame any unruly elements that try to derail you. So, we are being called to have confidence in our own stamina and tame any unruly elements that try to derail us. It is done. It is done. So, emotionally, pretty much stoic all across the board. But with the mask of the bear and the mask of the raccoon being present here, it's like behind that stoicism lies a softness that is just so sacred that not just everybody has the privilege to even know that experience, let alone offer reverence to it. Beautiful. Now, let's take a look at position number 4. I don't have the space to do like the actual visual of the horseshoe, but it is as it is. We're improvising. Going into your rational state at this time, pertaining to the most likely outcome of intelligence, our intelligence, assisting in overcoming obstacles. Okay, that's 2 passes. And look, that B is back at the bottom. How did it end up in the upright though? Oh, maybe when I took it out and then put it back, I'm thinking. So that's telling me, since it's in the upright, to keep going one more time. To be more productive with the shuffle and do one more. And so it is, they are still at the bottom. So some productivity is still, in terms of rationality here, expected of us. But so are a lot more pauses. Because as I said a little bit ago, with Through communication, we have demonstrated so much, some of it possibly even unexpected to others, because when they see us in that non-productive state, they're like, oh, they're not doing the work. Literally, figuratively, and metaphorically speaking. Until their mouth overrides their butt. Like the bee. Literally and metaphorically. We're being guided also from a rational state to not be bothered by what others think of our productivity. Because, as the saying goes, we, through the eyes of the divine, we are not measured through our productivity. Our presence is enough. And with preparation being in reverse with the squirrel and the chestnut, this came out yesterday, I believe, in the upright. So this is saying right off the jump intuitively that there really isn't anything more in terms of what's leading to this outcome. There isn't necessarily anything more to learn, prepare for at this time. But there is more to learn, is what I was trying to say. Because that message of being open to more learning throughout the week came in the last video, which contributed to that most likely outcome. Preparation in reverse. Number 29. You have prepared well and can expect to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Your resourcefulness and foresight will be rewarded. Bada boom, bada bing. 32 on the timer. Ooh-wee. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Yes. Beautiful. The squirrel and the chestnut. For our rational side, it's like Spirit saying, take a chill pill, collective. Although there's more to learn, the work necessary up to this point in the present time for today is already done. Beautiful. Careful reminders that the chestnut and the squirrel together are a reminder that our careful preparation will often yield us riches. There it is. All right. Okay, well, let's just go on into position number 5. Aspects of the issue that need acknowledging, all right? And we have the moth and the eucalyptus and ending. Some kind of ending that needs to occur today or that already occurred today of some kind. Okay? An ending. The moth and the eucalyptus. Let's take a look. And yeah, this is number 13, out again. Second session, third time we've seen at this table anyways. That's why I say we, because it's me and the angels and ancestors and ascended masters and Holy Spirit. The A team is here. I said that in the last video. They are already here. All around us. Protecting the protector of our peace. I just heard. transformative experiences coming in today that will continue to protect our peace. And how we prioritize the protection of our peace needs to be acknowledged now, today, no matter who and no matter what it's about. The priority of our peace of mind and the protection of our peace needs to be acknowledged. Yes. Transformation. Remember when I said in the beginning of the video, the skull is out today, not to be scary or represent anything horrible or bad or wah 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 wah. Transformation. And for some of the collective, this may even be an ego death that occurred, and improvements in your communication and leadership abilities that solidified these opportunities, further strengthening you, but also expanding your curiosities. Like, oh, like I want to know more about, like, now this is something I can put on repeat. Yes, the moth and the eucalyptus. The end of a relationship, a hobby or interest, a job, or any number of other things. While endings sometimes mark a loss, they don't always. And the message came out in the first video that any endings that occur this week, none of us in the collective will be taking any losses. Period. Period. No more of that. Not up in here. And even if we do experience some kind of grief, we have the power to emerge from it with a better understanding of ourselves. That inner form of leadership. Beautiful. And how can we be more accepting of change? Acknowledging change, of course, but also acknowledging how I wouldn't go tell somebody who might fit the bill of a narcissist anything like this, because then they might just put on a whole frickin' marionette show just to get in the way and try to shrink your head and squash your plans, okay? Don't go ever tell your plans to a narcissist. Just don't. And just, that could be part of that air of caution that came out in the first video I did this morning, besides the rising forecast. So this would actually be the third video I did today. Those threes still going strong. What tools do I have that might help me feel safe and protected when change occurs in my life? Is also something that needs to be acknowledged. What action to take? Action to take for the collective, please. Action to take. Action to take at this time. Okay. Oh my goodness. Shut the front door. Hold on. The majority of this energy, specifically for today, but also as part of the 7-day outlook, involves romance. The finch and the peach. And that word in fine print that won't focus at the moment is romance. Number 36. In terms of action to take, how do I respond to that intuitively? I have to take myself out of this one. I have to. I have to. I'm not big on revealing a lot about romance in my personal life. So there's that. And we'll just leave it there, but also keep it a buck. Action to take at this time involves romance. Let's take a closer look. Action to take. Vibrancy and charm have led to a blossoming romance. Be open to and accepting of new love's many delights. I just got a woozy feeling. Do I feel safe and supported enough to be open to new love? And how do I show others I love them? So, this is like saying that you can still take those pauses, you can still be in that non productive mode at any time and still have the ability to demonstrate love in some kind of way. That's the message, overall message for the collective. But of course, I mean, it's in plain italic letters. Romance is definitely all up in the mix. Collective, out there's someone who thinks that you are their peach, and they mean that in the most endearing manner ever. Endearing. Like loving from a core deep level. Nothing to do with endurance. Except for the endurance of the heart that is so endearing. It would take a lot of endurance if, in terms of our body mass index and the love being the size of that peach, it would take a lot of endurance to hold up that level of love. But it is the action we as the collective are being called to take. Love is in the air. Oh, love is in the air. The peach, a sweet scented heart-shaped fruit, has long been associated with fertility, sexuality, and love, and the lively finch symbolizes exuberance, enthusiasm, and excitement. That's a lot of E's. That's 3 E's. To be exact, that's a lot of 3's. That's a lot of E's. E, E, E. E, E. I couldn't help myself. How do I show others how I love them? And do I feel safe and supported enough to be supported or to be open to new love? Let's see what's going on in the bottom. I want to know more about action to take. Metamorphosis. Even more transformation. So, dang. This is the kind of love that you can't ignore. This is the kind of love you can't ignore. A metamorphosis you can't ignore. The frog and the lotus. Yet another symbol of unfolding transformation. And don't even get me started on the frog, because we're not getting on that level of the know-it-all archetypes today, okay? We're just not. I love frogs, though. I absolutely love frogs, the symbolism of them, spiritually, metaphorically, metamorphically. It's like frogs as they transform. It's like boot camp. And each stage of that obstacle course at the end, it is representing like each stage of the development of the frog, from the egg to the embryo to the tadpole to the nymph to the adult. Yeah. But like like what is it called, like a strongman contest or survivalism type of contest, like, so there is some endurance involved here, even though I really didn't want to go there, but here we are going there. All right. Number 6, the frog and the lotus. Change is natural, rebirth is possible, and a healing balance can be achieved. As the stages of the frog represent transformation, the lotus flower, too, symbolizes rebirth, unfurling even amid murky waters. So there's even more of us just being able to power through these challenges and obstacles even without lifting a finger. Non-productive, more pauses. We're being guided to take more breaks, yo. My goodness, I might just practice what I preach and make only one video for tomorrow. We shall see. My goodness, yes. We owe it to ourselves to allow our own growth and rebirth. Going through such a change can be difficult and a struggle, but the resulting metamorphosis opens us to growth, self-acceptance, and happiness. And also, immediately in our orbit for advice, continuing to follow our intuitions. I'm not going to read from the book on that one. It's not necessary. With the bat hovering over everything, I just heard our intuitions at this time supersede every other influence, especially external influences. So keep your clairs up and keep it up. Yes, keep it up, yo. Because the good fortune, the opportunities, the growth, the expansion, transformation after transformation, leadership showing up in 2 different ways, our intuitions showing up in 2 different ways, endings showing up in 2 different ways, transformation showing up in 2 different ways. I can't remember if I already said that, but in so many ways. Beautiful. That is the message. Full circle. We are home, baby. We are home. Welcome home. With the beaver and the birch to draw this to a close. Oh, look, and happiness yet again right behind it. So the mention of happiness back to back as well. Number 30. And more 3s. 3 10s. More 3s. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful all the way around. Today is just so high vibrational. I can't get enough of this. more of this. It's all about maintaining a safe environment. That's that fortification of leadership that is continuously flowing in for us as well. Trees symbolizing new beginnings, and they seldom grow alone. They were used as maypoles in pagan celebrations of midsummer. Not our business, but that's okay. I just don't see how that's relevant to the message, because it's a kind of a universal message, and pagan translates to peasant, but also all of the modern day religions are all born from the original quote unquote pagan or commoner teachings. Yeah, because their wood is thought to protect the young and ward off evil spirits, it was often used to build cradles. Now it's time to focus on nesting, homesteading, and settling down. Decorate and tend to your environment in a way that supports a feeling of home. So, yeah, that break, that resting period, that non-productive period. So, with that little bit of productivity that was mentioned in mind, whatever productivity you put in today, whatever energy you put in, make it, just like the first message and first session, nourishment for the soul. So it's not only the energy of the entire outlook, but it's extremely heavy on the Monday. Today is that day. And that's the message. I want to thank you so very much for listening. With much gratitude and appreciation. That short form video I was talking about in the beginning of this one is coming. I promise. Alright? I just have to get these taken care of so that I can make space for so much more. Until then, from my heart chakra to yours, brightest of blessings.